Happy Monday. Well, it is 4:30. The day, it's like all your best laid plans, right? The day has just definitely taken a path of its own. I'm about to load the car. Had to grab some groceries, didn't realize it. So I'm about to load the car and I will record more in a second. All right, so we're just gonna problem solve. I'm recording in the car on the way home. Crystal's driving, which means I'm safe. As always, yeah, she loves to drive. Which I like actually too, because I like just sitting and chilling. She's a much better driver than I am anyway, so much better. I like your idea of doing a little studio tour, so I'm going to do the same. So we're going to roll that footage now. All right, so first up we have a Rocketeer helmet replica, which I just loved that movie when I was younger. So having a replica helmet has been really, really cool for me. It just reminds me of my childhood, as do these two, He-Man and Skeletor, which were huge for me growing up when I was a kid, so it's cool to have them. A Vision Hot Toys statue, which is personal for many reasons for me. Spawn, really cool Spawn sculpture. Now this was cool because I used to be close with the manager of the McFarlane Toys operation, and when I would go up to New York, several times I would go out to Jersey and see their toy sculpture operation. Back before it was digitally sculpted, they were all sculpted in wax. So I remember seeing this sculpture in wax, and then when they released this 12-inch version, I had to buy it. They used to sculpt all their figures 12-inch, and then they would shrink them down to make them action figure size. But when this came out, incredible. Look at that cape. Just the detail of that is unreal. What else is done here? Here's a Jack Skellington, which I believe I got one of my first trips to Japan. I just loved him. I love that movie. And so seeing this in Japan, I had to pick that up. Some of the classic Universal monsters, which were very influential for me when I was a kid, as well as Beetlejuice. We have a Green Lantern and Sinestro. Just love those statues. Here is a Spawn figure I repainted as Batman. And this was a Batman statue that a resin statue that I painted many years ago. And then, of course, the infamous shield. So, there's my little studio tour. As you know, I love doing digital design. I've been doing it for, 20 plus years since I first got Photoshop. And I am by no means an expert. I'd say I'm average at best. But I enjoy it. I like getting my artistic, creative skills out in that way. I particularly like, for on set, the iPad Pro with Procreate. It's not as deep, and it doesn't have as many tools as Photoshop does, but sometimes what I like to do is start an initial design on the iPad. And it's particularly helpful if we're on set. We have to show a director a quick image or reference image to kind of get them excited. Then I can take that image back into Photoshop and tweak it. But I thought what would be fun today, I have one that I worked on, a couple of years ago, just practicing some old age skills like aging an actor. And I wanted to see how well I could do it in Procreate. So I'm going to show you a little time lapse of an old age makeup I did on Michael Fassbender. It wasn't for any project, it wasn't for anything specific, it was just to practice some old age skills and aging techniques digitally and see how well I could do it in the iPad. And again, with the idea that then we could take this to a director on set, spend a few hours in the trailer on set, and then take it to the director to show them where we could go with it. And then from there, go a little bit deeper in Photoshop. But I'm going to show you a little time lapse of that because I think it's just fun to see. I actually looked back at it last night. It was kind of fun to see something I had done several years before. All right, so there was the time lapse. I hope you liked that. That was fun to see. It was fun for me to look back at. Definitely a bunch of things I would tweak about it, but I thought it was kind of cool to just see what you could do with the iPad and the pressure-sensitive pen. I don't know what it's called, but I definitely think it was well worth the investment. Anyway, that is it for me for today. I will see you tomorrow at the shop. Happy Monday.